There is a specific kind of silence that people mistake for abandonment. It's not the silence of being ignored, it's the silence right before a door closes. And if you've been sitting in it, wondering why the same prayer keeps getting the same non-answer, I want to tell you something almost no one explains correctly. That silence is not God pulling away. It's the sound of Him removing your hand from something He already knows you don't need to hold anymore. Here's the part almost nobody tells you, because it sounds strange until you understand it. There's a concept, centuries old, that Christian mystics call the dark night of the soul. It doesn't mean God has left. It means the comfort, the felt closeness. The emotional confirmation you used to get has been deliberately withdrawn, not as punishment, but because you had started depending on the feeling of God more than the presence of God. And a chapter cannot close while you're still holding on to the feeling that defined it. So the withdrawal you're experiencing right now, the coldness, the confusion, the prayers that seem to hit the ceiling, that isn't distance. That's the process of a chapter actually ending rather than just fading. Anthropologists have a word for the exact state you're in right now, and it has nothing to do with religion, which is what makes it so validating. It's called liminality. It describes the threshold between an old identity and a new one, the space where you no longer belong to what you were, but you haven't yet become what you're going to be. Every culture, every tradition has recognized this threshold as disorienting, even dangerous, because a person in it has no role, no clear ground, no name yet for who they are. This is why closing a chapter never feels like relief. It feels like homelessness. You are not lost. You are simply between two rooms, and no one warned you how long that hallway can be. The common mistake almost everyone makes here is trying to force the old chapter to make sense one more time. They pray for the relationship to make sense again. They pray for the job, the friendship, the version of themselves that fit inside it to somehow still work. And when it doesn't, they interpret that as God being silent or absent. But a closing chapter will never make sense again, because it isn't supposed to. Its job was never to last forever. Its job was to build something in you that the next chapter requires. Trying to make an ending chapter feel open again is like trying to keep a wound from closing because you got used to the ache. There is a grief in this that deserves to be named honestly, because faith communities don't always make room for it. You are allowed to grieve a door closing even when you believe fully and completely that God is the one closing it. Grief is not a lack of faith. Grief is what happens when something real, something that shaped you, ends. The disciples grieved even knowing resurrection was coming. Grief and trust have never been opposites. You can weep for what's ending and still believe the hand closing it is good. And here is the insight almost no one says out loud. God rarely closes a chapter by removing something loudly. He closes it by making the old thing quietly, undeniably unbearable to stay in. The job that stops making sense. The relationship where peace keeps draining out no matter what you try. The friendship that starts costing more than it gives. That discomfort is not a sign you did something wrong. It is the specific mechanism God uses to make sure you don't stay somewhere your season is already over. If it were up to your own strength alone, you would probably stay in the comfortable version of your old life forever. So He lets the old chapter become unlivable, not cruel, unlivable, so that leaving becomes the only sane option left. So before you go, let's declare this together. Go to the comments and write, "This chapter is closing and I trust the hand that's closing it." Write it as something you believe, not something you're hoping to believe. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, someone standing in their own hallway right now, between what was and what's next, send this to them. Let them know the discomfort they're feeling is not abandonment. It's confirmation that the door is finally closing the way it was always going to. You are not being left behind. You are being moved forward, one closed door at a time.